Hi, welcome. My name is Maria Kazmi. I am your host, Brown Girl Interrupting, and this is Pain to Power, Leading with Love, where we are talking about the journey of healing through community, through tools, through my guests, and through some dynamic stories to understand how we can take our pain and turn it into power. And today I have been, you see a little birthday stuff over here, been celebrating with my children because I was thinking about this quote: the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. It's a quote by Socrates. But the idea, and for me, is that we are constantly experiencing things in life that push us to change. Right now, for me, that's the departure of two of my older boys to life as adults, and leaving the area, one for the Air Force, one for college in Vermont, and all of it is a lot of change for us, but we are embracing it with some celebrations of us all together and continuing to grow. And for me as an adult, I'm learning how to help my daughter navigate all this change around her. And I'm really excited right now to introduce my guest, who is another inspiration of someone helping women through some of their own changes and had her own changes in life that she's going to be sharing with us in a few moments. She is helping women who have struggled with the changes of motherhood, time constraints, and the seemingly selfless sacrifices we make to focus our energy on our children and forget ourselves sometimes. This is Brandi Miller, who is a style coach and style expert, joining us today. Welcome, Bree.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. I appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, I am so happy to have you on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. My son had a stomach bug these last few days, so we're just getting over that. But
Oh, yeah.
but
Well,
other
you
than
know
that,
what?
I'm doing good. I know. I
That's plenty
know.
right there. That's a lot. That's a lot, right?
Yes.
And I love it. We've got some friends in the chat already. Welcome to Tasha from No Holdbacks TV. Hello. So Brandy, motherhood is one thing you're balancing, but you're balancing a lot of stuff, and we're going to get into the story of just all of the things that you've got going on. And I would love to first, the show itself, I call it Pain to Power because it is this idea that I think everyone
Right.
has different places in their lives where they experience pain and they find their way to their power when they choose to heal and do that. So we define it differently. And I'm just wondering for you, when you think about this idea of changing and turning pain into power, what does that mean to you?
For me, I would say it was me redefining what that was for me, what my how to that journey, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of go back a little bit, like maybe 5 years ago, how I even got to where I am right now. I got married in 2017. And so me and my husband, we decided, hey, we're gonna do this real estate thing. I thought I wanted to be this big fashion blogger and content creator. And he was just like, okay, well, you can just kind of quit your job and we can work on, you can focus on that and we can just do, our real estate investing on the side. So I was like, okay, perfect. This is something I really want to do. And so I started down that path of, creating content and be a content creator. I knew I always loved style and I always loved fashion. So that was kind of like my avenue of what I thought I wanted to do, right? And so as life went on, we ended up getting pregnant. I ended up getting pregnant in 2018. And so the closer we got to my due date, we just, still continued on that same path and continued on that same plan of what we wanted to do as far as like I said, with me being a content creator and the real estate journey as well. But, life comes at us fast, right? And most times we're not prepared. So April 11th, 2019, my husband, we got up, he went to work, and we were planning for our day. And I was due on April 20th. And so April 11th, he went to work. We talked throughout the day. He was like, okay, well, I'm going to go play basketball and I'll pick up, like, I remember the day just as clear as day. He was just like, I'm going to go pick up salmon from there and we can just have salmon salads and we're just in the day or whatnot. So I'm sitting about to go to Walmart, do our grocery pickup, and my friend, she calls me and she's just like, um, we call my husband C. She was like, he passed out at the basketball court. And I was like, he passed out. Like, I'm just like, that's, it's just kind of like, okay, well, he'll be
Right.
okay. So I'm pregnant. So, of course, everything is triggering for me. And so I called my sister and she's like, oh, he's okay. I'm sure it's just heat, he's probably heat exhausted. And so I went, to the hospital. So we had to go to the hospital. And I just had this funny feeling. Like, I don't know, it's just weird to me, but when I went in the hospital, the lady told me, she was just like, well, what they said was we did all we can. And I don't remember literally anything after that. Nothing after that. I literally don't remember anything after that. It's kind of like my mind, my brain or my mind just went blank. Like I can't remember anything. And I cannot believe to this day that I woke up a married woman and that same day I went to bed as a widow. It's just
Yeah.
still mind blowing for me, even in this moment as I'm talking about it. It just really seems so unreal that something like that would happen just days before my due date, right? And
Mm.
so even after that, of course, I struggled with, just trying to piece my life back together, trying to understand what my purpose was, understanding why I was still here. I mean, you go through such a traumatic event such as that, you just kind of wonder, like, why am I here? Like, what's the point of, me still being here? And I've lost the best thing that ever happened to me. And so as I continued on just trying to piece my life back together, just trying to make sense of everything, and of course, throughout that whole pain situation of just trying to figure out, okay, what do I do with all this pain? What do I do with all of this hurt that I don't even know how to even, navigate, this life now. I don't know what passion is anymore. I don't know what I love anymore. I don't know, what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. And again, like I said, I've always loved style. I always loved fashion. And so I start to realize that a lot of women lose themselves. It may not be they lost their spouse, it may not be the loss of a loved one, but even through motherhood, even through being a mom and just navigating life as a wife, just lifing in general, women, we lose ourselves, right?
Mm.
And
Yes.
so with that, I just like, okay, I know for me, what helped me is really understanding, my style and what could help me boost my confidence. And that was how I looked, right? So everybody has heard, you feel good, that expression, but that truly is something that I feel like really drives us as moms and women. If you look good, you feel good. And so I was, of course that helped me. I'm like, okay, I started getting up and just kind of putting myself together. And I'm just like, well, how can I help other women that are struggling to find themselves? The same journey that, their journey may be a little bit different, but at the same time, that feeling is the same. We can all relate to losing ourselves and not really understanding, what we need to do to make ourselves feel like ourselves again. And so
Mm.
as I, navigated, I was just like, okay, well, let me, help women that are struggling to find themselves. And the first thing, again, style and fashion is just near and dear to my heart. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help women find themselves through their style, help them find their confidence through their fashion and their personal style. And so for a long time, I kind of sat on it, like I was nervous, I was scared. And then the middle to end of last year, I just pulled the trigger. I was just like, okay. I kept feeling the nudge. I kept feeling the push to help women, to, offer my services and to, get help women to stop feeling unstuck. or to help them find that confidence and
Mm.
that strength they needed to not only be great moms, but you have to be, you have to feel good about yourselves and all that. I feel like it all kind of trickles down, right? If you feel good about yourself, you feel good about how you look and how you feel, it trickles down to our family, it trickles to our kids, to our husbands. And so, that's kind of like what led me to, you know, start this journey of like style coaching, especially more so with moms and women that are struggling to kind of find themselves or find their confidence through their personal style. I know there's a mouthful.
No, well, first of all, thank you, thank you for sharing. You gave us it all. But and my deep condolences. I realize that
Thank you.
our timing is that you've been, I'm sure, in remembering your husband this week with the passing of the anniversary of it, and my condolences for that.
Thank
Thank you for sharing your journey and the realness of it, and the way that you were able, though, like you said, to redefine pain to power through this experience of not only doing it for yourself, but now you're doing it for others, right? And you're doing it in this
you.
way,
Yes.
like you mentioned, in terms of women, right? That is such it. We don't put enough emphasis on the power of
Right.
feeling good when it comes to looking good for ourselves. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but I would love to know a little bit more, just of even what got you to that journey. Like, tell me a little bit about, like, young Brandi. You're a Southern girl born in Georgia.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I mean,
Yes. Yes.
as a young
Mm-hmm.
girl, when did fashion become the thing where, we all have interest in things, right? But when it becomes something that now
Right.
becomes your passion, it's a different thing. What was that
Right.
like for you?
Yeah. Well, as you know, and when I was younger, I was kind of okay, right? But I pride myself in making myself look good because I felt like if I look good, well, even then, like I felt like no one could tell me. I mean, of course, I had my insecurities, but at the same time, I never let that show with how I showed up for myself. I always
Mm.
made sure that I looked the part. I always made sure I was presentable. I always made sure that I just, presented myself as confident. Even though sometimes I didn't feel as confident, I always made sure that I showed myself that I, dressed. It's one of those things that I would almost say like I kind of had a knack for it. Like it came kind of natural for me. And I didn't even know, like, of course, sometimes you don't even, when you're younger and you're growing up, you don't know these things until people start saying, hey, you look so cute. Oh, you dress cute. Oh, you this and you're that. And you're just like, oh, okay, do I? This is a thing for me, So I think I didn't even realize I had a thing until, people kind of reassured me and kind of continually complimented me. And so it's just like, okay. And again, it came natural. So I didn't I didn't have to think too much about it, I guess you should say. And so that's what it I didn't have to like put too much thought into it, but I just started kind of expressing myself, right? So like even though I said, like I was saying, I was insecure, but I was secure in the fact that I could show up for myself and as far as like looking the part. So that became a way of me kind of expressing myself. So I would wear like I don't know, like I would just put anything together, and it was just a form of me expressing myself. But people really, complimented me. They really thought that it was like a style, they thought I was stylish, but in a way, it was me kind of expressing myself physically from by the use of like clothing and different things or putting different patterns together or whatever made me feel good, whatever I felt like, you know, made me feel like the most confident, I put it on. You know what I mean? And then that's what I try to
Hmm.
teach my clients is it doesn't matter what you wear, you have to be confident. right? You have to know that you
Mm.
own this space and you feel good. If that's it, when you get that feeling, no one can tell you anything, right? You can wear just about, you can wear a trash bag. As long as you're confident, someone's gonna say, oh look, she's wearing that trash bag and she's got it going on. You know what I mean? So it's all about having that confidence in being able to express yourself and feel good about it.
I love that. And yeah, I see the chat is blowing up. John Logic says, exactly, for sure, right? Like that confidence is
Mhm.
key. And it sounds like so you're expressing yourself as a kid, but it was also like almost this self love you were showing too, right? And showing up with it.
Mhm.
And now
Right,
you're
right.
doing that for so
Mhm.
many
Mhm.
other women. And No Hold Back says, confidence is everything. It definitely is. And I think I saw Mr. Jones in the chat as well. Welcome and salute. Um, this is our ranters family coming in heavy to see and learn from you, B. And so with that, you speak of yourself as a style coach, but what is the difference between a style coach and a personal stylist? 'Cause I think most people know personal stylists, but you are a style coach. How will you distinguish those
Right.
two things?
And a lot to your point, I make sure whenever I have my style direction calls that I give clients that difference, because to your point, a lot of people don't, they kind of intermingle the two, but they're, quite different. So as a personal stylist, that's someone that, if you have events coming up, or if you have like a particular, if you have a wedding, or if you have a birthday coming up, birthday dinner, or what have you, some type of event come up, then a person stylist, they'll work with you. They'll say, hey, I picked out these particular things based on, your size, your type, with the vision that you have, kind of the vibe that you're going for. I picked out these things for you, and they pretty much just dress you and they put these things on you. And, that's kind of like a end all be all. And that's it until your next event, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so a style coach, and something I can only, for me, when I coach clients, I coach them on their body type so they can kind of understand, okay, I have this particular body type, so they can understand how to shop for themselves, right? So again, personal stylists, they're going to dress you, they're going to put you on. They're not really like teaching you anything per se, versus, like I said, the style coaches. Well, for me, like I said, as a style coach, I'm taking you through the process of understanding your body type. These are the things that look good on your body. These are the things that complement your body well. These are the things that you need to stay away from. So that when you go shopping, and a lot of my clients have anxiety when it comes to shopping because they don't know what to buy. They don't know what to look for. They don't know what to shop for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I give them a guide. They have the guidance of, okay, this is my body type. I know this isn't an end all be all, but at least I know, have a general idea of what looks good on my body, what's compliment. Oh, my coach told me to stay away from those things because those things don't give me the proper proportion, or they don't give me the particular body aesthetic that I need for my particular body type, right? So we go through that whole process, and I teach them how to shop, right? So again, based on your body type, these are the things you need to shop for. These are the stores you shop, so that, because again, based on your body type, it's some stores you can shop in, some stores you can, you know what I mean? So we go through that entire
Right.
process. We create a whole I create lookbooks for them. So I put looks together for them, and we go through the lookbook together, and I create like a virtual closet. So these things can be just like your basics, your wardrobe capsule pieces, and also show them and teach them how to maximize their closet. So I don't believe in buying a whole lot of clothes, right? I don't believe in that. I believe in buying key pieces and understanding and knowing how to mix and match those pieces. So we go through that whole entire process where they understand, okay, well, I can match this with this, and the only thing I need is a hat, to kind of switch it up, or maybe a
Mm-hmm.
belt to put it around my waist to kind of make it a little bit different. And so that's kind of like what we do. That's what I do. Like I said, I can only speak for my program as a style coach. Is that you just teach them a way of life regarding their style, and of course, based on their style goals, you kind of teach them how to accomplish those goals based on their particular body type. Because like I said, like, we all look for inspiration, right? We all Instagram, we all see Pinterest, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to. One thing I teach them is you have to understand how to translate that inspo to your body. How is, if that's what you like to see,
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking at is what you like. How can I translate it that based on my body type or what looks good on me? So
Well, I
it's a
love
whole. process.
Yeah, no, and it sounds like, and I mean, I think I appreciate how you just broke that down. I see Tasha in the chat just chimed in saying a lot of people need this. Yeah, I really like this. A few people, I know a few people who need this. Yeah, definitely, right? And I could think of that as well. And even for me, I'm like, I love that. So I always want to
Mhm.
know the ins and the outs of it. And I think when we talk about beauty, there's so many narratives that come around beauty. And I imagine that there's a point in a lot of women's lives where they're like, I need your help, right? Do you notice that there's certain
Mhm.
periods or certain things that kind of propel women to be like, I think now I'm at this place where I need to focus on me? Because you talk about helping mothers a lot, and that moment, and I remember, I've got 4 children, as I've told you before, but when my boys were, the
Mhm.
first 3 were within 5 years, and so it was all a blur, all a blur for certain, and
Yeah.
I do remember spending a lot of time for when the 2 were the
Mhm.
youngest were born in
Yeah.
sweatpants and big baggy ugly sweatsuits, right? Because that's easy. That's easy. It's what I do. I've
Right.
got burp
Mhm.
burp marks all over me. Like,
Yeah.
there's all so many reasons. Someone's gonna pee on me. I can wash a sweatshirt easily. But I am curious to know, like, for you as a style coach, like,
Mhm.
what are some of those points in women's lives where they come to you and they're like, that no help. I says, dang, I have no kids, no help for me. No, look, we're all at those points, right? But what
No,
are
I
those
can help
points,
you.
right, where they come and they're like, I need something more for me.
Right. A lot of them, to your point, where they're just like, oh, my kids are all grown up, or my kids are finally independent. Um, a lot of them, they're past that point of having to like really handhold their kids. That's why I see a lot of the moms. Though I encourage moms not to wait, because although you want to wait till my kids get to a certain point, although you want to wait to this, it's never a bad time to try to work on your confidence, right? Or
Mm.
to try to feel better about yourself as a mom. So, I think the most critical time I see, or the most consistent time I see, is like when their kids are a little bit more independent. And they're just like, okay, now I now have some time for me. You know what I mean? And now I can work on me. Now I can focus on me. My kids are, they're on their way. They're, they're off to college, and they're in high school, and so they don't need me as much. So now I can focus on me. And that's most the consistent time I see a lot of moms. But again, like I said, I try to, when I have these calls for these clients, because a lot of them, they're like, oh, I just want to talk to you. You know what I mean? I just want to see,
Mhm.
what services you have. And when I, like I said, when I talk to them, I'm like, I don't want you to wait now. I don't want you to wait. And a lot of times, let me go back. A lot of times they wait till they've lost like that extra 10 pounds or that extra 20 pounds. I see that as well. So, and a lot of clients wait, say, oh, I want to wait till I lose 10, 20 pounds. But again, I use that same conversation and say, hey, don't wait. You don't have to wait to lose 20 pounds to feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? You can feel
Mm.
even better after
Yeah.
you lose those 20 pounds. But let's work on your confidence now. Let's be the best mom. Let's be the best woman that we can now. Because even this is only going to get better from here, right? It's only going to get better the more independent your kids become, the more confident, and the more you feel good about yourself. You feel good now. Imagine how you're going to feel when you lose that extra 10 to 20 pounds. So it all starts now, but that is a certain time that I do see, when moms kind of like reach out and want to kind of
Mhm.
like start working on themselves.
But and I love what you brought up though, is that it's really, it's like women don't seem to make the decision to focus on themselves and put themselves as this as important until their children are grown, which is a really unfortunate thing. And I am hoping that there are some women watching this right now with little kids who are realizing, don't wait, right? Because you can look
Don't
fabulous and take
wait.
care of yourself before your kids are grown. And actually, in fact, it's really nice too, because then you can share
Mhm.
that with your kids, right?
Yeah,
So, and you brought up
exactly.
the
Yep.
idea of how, you said like some women feel like they need to lose weight before they even start to think about looking confident and liking what they wear, right? Are there other mindsets that you realize that you have to kind of like address? Because you're a coach, but coaching, I know you're a style coach, but I imagine there's some conversations and coaching of even mindsets that you get into. What are some of those like, and what are some of the things that you've
Mhm.
had to kind of help women to unpack and move through?
Yeah, to your point, like as a style coach, you're almost like a little therapist there. But yes, so a lot of it is a lot of clients that are just comfortable, right? Just comfortable. They don't want to move outside of what they usually wear. They're just like, this works for me. And I try to tell them, no, it don't. And so it's just kind of like, they just kind of get used to shopping a certain way. They get used to looking a certain way. So I think like the whole mindset thing, a lot of times a lot of clients aren't as open as they think they are when they start the process, right? So a lot of them are just, it's just sometimes it is a hard wall to kind of tear down when they're just, just think about ourselves. Like when we're comfortable in something, we hold on to it. Like if
Mm-hmm.
this is just what we are, this is what we do, so it's the same thing with this, like when it comes to their style. And again, women in our clothing and what we put on that makes us feel comfortable, that can be a really touchy subject, right? It can be a really touchy thing because this is what
Absolutely.
makes us feel good. And so that's definitely one of the things that I run into a lot of times, just kind of, you know, coaching clients through, hey, this is going to look good on you, just take a chance, let's just do some practice runs, let me, so it is a lot of confidence building, which I'm totally fine with, because a lot of women don't realize their potential until you show it to them, it's, you help them
Mm.
realize it. And so it's just all about, to your point, is that mindset of you can change this. I know you want it, but it's hard for you to kind of let go of what you're used to. But working with them, like I say, it can be a challenge sometimes, but the more you work with them, the more you help them realize, just how great they can be and look with different based on their style goals, because they have style goals, but sometimes they're like, they don't know how to get there, or they're not as open to getting there. And so it's just one of those things. We just, while we have to kind of break down or tear down, kind of one meeting and one engagement at a time.
But I love that, and I think what a full circle from the what I started and opened with, this idea of change, right? That there's something new, but we hold on to
Yeah.
that old, right? We got to let go of the old to move to the new and embrace the change, even if the change is your style, right? Because that style change might be the
Right.
thing that gives you the confidence that makes you feel good. And there is something so powerful. I just remember, when we went to, it was COVID and there was Zoom and everybody was like in their pajamas. I was still getting dressed to the T every day. I don't care who saw me or didn't see me. Like I was going to be dressed because it made me feel good. And there is something that, and you spoke to it yourself, and I want to come back to that, right? You
Mm-hmm.
talked about how for
Okay.
you,
Mm-hmm.
getting dressed
Mm-hmm.
and looking good
Mm-hmm.
was part of some of your healing.
Mm-hmm.
How did that
Yes.
start to help you to get to this place where
Mm-hmm.
you now are launching, your own agency you have, right? And you're helping other
Mm-hmm.
women. But
Yeah.
what was that transition in how just that getting dressed every morning and looking good for yourself helped to move you through that
Mm-hmm.
pain a little bit?
I think for me, it gave me another a sense of normalcy, because, like I said, my whole world had been shattered. It's kind of to your point, later around the switch. Yeah, I had a newborn, and I was just like, I don't care about anything, right? So when I would just get dressed, it would just like, it would force me into a routine, or it would force me to feel normal again. And so it made me feel like, okay, life is coming together a little bit. If I could just, if I every day, like I said, it just took one day at a time. Every day I just felt better and better, because it was like I was doing something for myself. I was doing something to your point, get pushed past that pain, push past how I felt, push past just that heaviness. Like I
Brandy, you went
was
out for a moment. Would you mind
and so
saying?
that really makes. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, actually, would you mind just saying that again? You were talking about pushing past the pain. If you wouldn't mind just going back to that statement and just
Okay,
telling us a little
yes.
bit about that.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. And so getting dressed every day just kind of helped me push past the pain, past how I felt. And just, knowing that every little step I took was going to, get me a little bit closer to feeling normal again, or feeling a little bit more, I guess, healed, you could say, or working more towards my healing. And so that's what it did. It pretty much, getting dressed every day just gave me a sense of normalcy where again, it made me push past the pain, past what I felt, to know that I was going to get on the other side of that. So
That's a beautiful thing, and I think really powerful. Again, I don't know. Do you share that story with your clients ever?
I probably should share it more often. Yeah, I should. I really should. I think that would definitely have an impact on how they feel, and how they move forward as well.
And you speak about this idea of normalcy, and I think that's something that often, when we are going through grief, when we are going through loss, when we are in even healing from trauma, right? Normalcy has such power in healing our it's really our brain, right? Like it's coming back to the regular
Hmm.
predictability of life when things are changing around you.
Hmm.
Were there other things that helped you on this healing journey?
Of course, I went to therapy. That helped tremendously, because that made me feel like everything that I wasn't feeling, that everything that I was feeling was normal. Because a lot of times, when you haven't experienced something before, you just, sometimes you think to yourself, like, is this normal? Am I,
Mhm,
is this
mhm.
okay? Am I okay? And so it really helped me kind of unpack a lot of those feelings, and a lot of, like I said, just self doubt, not really understanding what my purpose was. And so that definitely helped a whole lot. And I journaled, oh man, I journaled like all day, every day. That just really helped me kind of get my feelings and my thoughts out. So that definitely had an impact on my healing journey for sure. Therapy and being able to journal definitely helped a lot. And like I said, getting dressed every day. It really, and then actually getting dressed every day was kind of what my therapist suggested, and it helped tremendously.
Well, I love it. And now, again, this is literally what you're doing for women is helping them to get through their pain or their things that they're
Right.
going through to get to that change and see themselves in that confidence, which is huge. And
Mhm.
now, as you were balancing all of this, I mean, you talked about how you were pregnant. So your son just turned 5, right? His name?
Yes, it's fine. Canon.
Canon. So,
Yes.
it's one
Hmm.
thing to go through grief on your own, but when you go through grief and you also have to carry and support your child at the same time, and I know he was young, but you had to be a mother and show up for him. What helped you to have
Yes.
the strength to be able to do that every day as well?
I literally don't even know how I did that. And I even look back on it, and I honestly don't. It's all God. That's all. That's all I know. Like, I literally don't even know how I pushed through and made it through all of that. He definitely gave me a purpose to kind of get up and keep going and keep moving, because I mean, he was a newborn, so I had to like literally take care of him every day. So again, that was another reason for me to just like push, keep going, do these things, and just be as active as a mom as I possibly could. So I would venture to say that he definitely was one of the things that helped me get through it, because again, I had to take care of him every day. So again,
Hmm.
that was one of those things that I had to kind of push through to to continue on that healing journey and grieving journey as well. Not saying it was easy at all, because it wasn't, but he definitely gave me a reason to kind of keep going, to get up every day and keep pushing, because of course I had to take care of him. So Yeah, but I don't know how I did it. Honestly, I really don't have a answer for that. Besides, like God, that's the only explanation I have. It's
But sometimes
crazy.
that is the explanation, right? Just faith pulls you through.
Yeah.
Faith and knowing that you're going to be okay and you're going to
Hmm.
have that. And I mean, and
Yes.
again, then
Hmm.
obviously you got to a place where you were brave enough to take this leap on yourself to getting to be a style coach, right? And start your agency. I mean,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
you know, bumps on the road, the process, like what has that been like? Just the process for you of becoming a style coach, of taking
Hmm.
this leap.
Hmm. Like I said earlier, that's one of the things I realized as I was, as I go through when I started the process of working with clients, I was like, oh wow, and like wow, I really gotta. Oh, can you hear me?
Actually, it went out for a little bit. If you wouldn't mind answering the question again, just to make sure we got your full answer and response back.
Okay. Okay, yes. So, one of the things that, like I said earlier, like, being in this role has really showed me that it's low key like a therapist. And so that's one of the things I had to kind of like research, like, how can I help these women? But like, again, it comes natural for me to just like talk again, because even though we may have different stories, I still understand how you get lost. I still understand how you don't know who you are anymore. I still understand how, you don't really feel good in your skin anymore, or don't really understand what looks good on your body. So that really helped me kind of understand what aspect to come to kind of how to navigate my clients. Is just really just taking on
Mm.
that whole kind of how can I help you, kind of mindset, or understanding, what their roadblocks are, understanding what their grief may be, or understanding, what kind of issues they're having that's preventing them from living out their full potential. So as far as like any roadblock or bumps in the road, it's just again the process. Just trying to really understand my process and make it as seamless as possible. Of course, that's kind of one of those things that comes with the territory. You have like this blueprint, but sometimes it doesn't always go that way. So it's just kind of always
Mhm.
going back, reinventing the process, and perfecting it and fine tuning everything. But my biggest thing that I've learned through this entire journey, like I said, is just realizing that I am really like a stylist, where I'm just helping women just really regain that confidence, and really just taking on the mindset of how can I help you, not just dishing all of this information on them and telling them what they can do with it and all of that. It's more of a partnership, and really understanding what I can do, what can I, how can I help them get to that next level, or regain the confidence that they've been lacking for however long.
I love that. And you're talking about how you can help them, but how has this helped you in also this whole process of healing?
Yeah, one thing I love when clients say or tell me that, oh my God, like I feel so good about this, or, you've helped me so much. So when I hear them say how much I've helped them, that's what really makes me feel good, because again, they have so much untapped potential that they didn't realize that they had. And so when I hear like their feedback, or if, they give me information, or they send me pictures, or they post pictures, it just makes me feel so good, because I'm just like, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm inspiring someone to feel good about themselves, or to, inspiring them to, or they feel better about themselves. So those are the things kind of, make me feel like, okay, I'm in the right field, like I'm doing the right thing, is when I hear their feedback, and they post their pictures, and tell me how good they felt about certain, looks that they've, put on, or items that they've purchased and worn, and things like that. So that's definitely something that makes me feel like, I'm doing the right thing.
That's such a great feeling of accomplishment though, and impact, right? Like that
Yeah.
impact on someone else that you
Mhm.
get to watch and
Right.
see, and
Mhm.
and that's awesome and amazing. Now, so I know you have these one-on-one coach
Right.
calls, and you really know people, and you and
Mhm.
and if you go and check out, please make sure that you're following, be on Instagram. All her links and everything are below, so you can do that, because there are definitely some really great gems you have just on ideas for things we need to know. So tomorrow's Monday morning, people are going to be going to work. How should they walk into their
Yes.
closet and have a few tips to be like, I'm going to do this because B. Miller told me to prepare for my day with confidence? What would you say to them?
I would say, just create you like a basic outfit. So that may just be a white button down and some jeans, right? So everyone should have at least a white shirt and some jeans, right? So that's kind of a basic look, but then you can still elevate that look. You can, if you're going to work, you can put on like you can put on a printed shoe, like in a or a printed belt or something of that nature. You could put on a blazer, right? Like a printed, a spring now you have like a printed or a colorful blazer. I say start always all
Oh,
for a
Brandi, we
season. Either it's
lost
a
you
white
for a second
jeans.
there.
Uh-oh.
We lost you for a second there. I heard printed
Uh-oh.
blazer, and then we missed the next tip.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, so if you have a blazer or like I said, a printed blazer or either like a colorful or either a basic cardigan, you put the cardigan on and put a belt around the cardigan. So it's a lot of things you could do with, like I said, like a basic item, like a basic base, and then you can kind of build upon that. But I would start there, basic base with either a blazer or a cardigan. With the cardigan, you could put a belt around your waist, blazer, like a statement blazer will always never steer you wrong.
I love that. But that's a great way to, like, I mean, everybody's got
Yeah.
something that's a one statement piece to go with something basic that we can hopefully pull out. And I love the idea of
Right.
accessorizing belts. I'm all about accessories. I like that
Yes, me
is
too.
my way to change any outfit up, right? Anything old can look new if you got if
Exactly.
you got something new to throw on top of it, right? Like
Yes,
I love
exactly.
that. And look, I know there's some friends of mine and colleagues that are going to be checking this out, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm looking to see how you're going to pull out some of that fashion for us to chat about tomorrow. Um, this has been such a joy. Before we finish up, I'm just wondering, you talked about
Thank
your
you.
own insecurities as a young girl, right? And you had your confidence with your fashion. But if you could go back and you could talk to little Brandy, maybe 10-year-old Brandy, what might you say to her, and just
Mhm.
thinking of the wisdom you've gained as a woman now?
Oh gosh. What would I tell 10-year-old me? Just to keep going. Keep going. And that's kind of one of the things I tell myself now is just keep going. You think that, this is it, or you think this is how my life is going to be, or I'm always gonna feel like this, or I'm not gonna feel a certain way, I'm not gonna look a certain way. But I would literally tell her just to keep going. I promise, just keep going. Keep going. This isn't the end all be all. Keep going.
I love that. Thank you so much, Brandy. And thank you to all of everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go and follow Brandy on Instagram. Go and check out her agency to make sure that you get a style coach, right? Because we all could use it. I might be calling you, lady. We could all use a little bit of help to know exactly what works for us, right? And feel
Yes,
confident,
yes.
confident every day, because when we look
Mhm.
good, we feel good. And when we feel good, we show up for ourselves the way we need to. We really
Right.
do. And
Mhm.
so, thank you so much to everybody for joining us, my Ranters fam, for all the other supporters, to Logic, Mr. M, my producer, as well as, please make sure, if you are watching us right now, hit the like button. I see one like. Go and hit the like button. Come on, y'all. And make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You hit the bell for all of the notifications for me going on Pain to Power Live on Sundays at 9 p.m. And if you have a Roku TV, do not forget to go and download the iRant channel and check out BGI, which is one of the stations on there, BGI TV. So I don't know if you have a Roku TV, Brandy, but please make sure you go check out the iRant channel. You can download
I
it
will.
straight from there. And if you are watching us
Mhm.
on the rebroadcast, Brandy has dropped some gems. Please make sure you leave a comment of something that hit you, how it hit you, what struck you, and share. Share this episode with everyone that you can
Yes.
who is going to gain from learning how to heal ourselves, whether it's through fashion and embracing the change of that, or through any other ways and tools that we have to be able to come back to self and turn our pain into power. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you again, Brandi, and peace, love, and light. My world has slowly crumbled around me countless times, and every time I rebuild with the pieces I've been given to birth something so transformational and beautiful that no one else knew might exist before it was shown to them. These moments tend to coincide within my romantic path. The universe has been telling me to focus on the revolution and not romance. It has over time given me the tools, resilience, and light to turn my pain into power. And only now do I see that the key to this always resided in the love and knowing I had in myself, not from the external sources of family or men. The message I have been avoiding might be that my time in this world I had existed in was not to receive love, but to put it out there for others to see, feel, and heal through. Revolution before romance moves pain into power.